The Pistol Spread Option Offense, home of playbooks, user community highlights, coaching insights, and much, much more. Be a better coach at pistolspreadoption.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another version of the Pistol Spread Option Playbook Reloaded series. Today, we're going to continue with the zone read, zone running game. So we're going to jump right into it. We've put out a few other videos on the zone read. There's the 2x2 and 3x1 that we've already covered in a previous series. We've talked a little bit about the zone read system in a previous series. We've talked about our blocking scheme. So if you haven't run through some of those earlier videos, you may want to go back and look at those first, as it will make a lot more sense. But if you are new to this series and you're just coming in for the first time and want to look at our 2x2 or 2-back and 3-back zone read, this is easy to pick up on. I think you'll be able to get it without going back and look at the previous videos. But I would definitely recommend go back and look at some of these previous videos and understand the system and how it's put together. So without further ado, let's jump into the zone read. And then we're going to talk about really 3 different formation sets today. The first is the 2-back zone read. The second, we'll jump into the 3-back zone read, and then we'll kick back into the silencer. If you don't know what the silencer is, it's a formation set that I created a few years ago. It's really a cool situation where you can put the defense in conflict right off the bat just by a simple alignment. So let's jump into the 2-back zone read. We'll walk through the different options that we have, including triple options and things like that. Again, if you haven't seen the triple option series, you may want to go back and look at that video. But it's all relatively simple. You'll be able to pick up on it. So with our zone scheme, we look at both odd and even fronts. We're going to look at a 2-back zone read today. Again, very simple terminology for us. The word zone, the first word that you're going to hear, is the actual blocking scheme. We have a zone and a power blocking scheme. So if our offensive lineman hears zone, that means they're running the zone scheme. The second word is the actual play itself, which in this case is read. So we'll be reading someone. And then we're going to read who is part of our read system. So we can read the Charlie, the Bravo, or the Alpha. If you're not familiar with those terminologies, it's the player in the C gap, the player in the B gap, or the player in the A gap. So are we reading the Charlie, the Bravo, meaning the B gap, or the Alpha, meaning the A gap? Very simple scheme. That's how we work. What you're going to see is a couple of different things. We'll tag the F or the Z. For us in the 2-back set, we're going to tag the F, which means that we're going to have our fullback running the zone read, and our H would become the pitchman. So you'll see there's some variety here, some variations that run through this. But let's start out with the zone read backside Charlie. We'll start with the hardest, meaning the odd front, and we'll work our way through. So again, you'll see this is our 2-back formation. We have 2 backs in the backfield. This is out of strong. If you haven't watched our formation videos, you'll understand that a little bit later. But what this is a 2-back situation. We are going to be reading the backside Charlie. So we're running zone left, again to the left. We're going to be reading the backside Charlie, or C-gap player. In this case, he is head up over the tackle, which is going to create a tango call for us. That means I don't have a true C-gap player. He's stacked. So we're going to be reading the guy directly over the tackle, hence the word tango. So the tackle is going to make a tango call telling everybody on the offense, hey, I don't have a true C-gap defender. We're going to be reading the guy head up on me. Everything else stays exactly the same, so we'll walk through that. In our scheme, the outside man runs a push crack. Our tackle is covered, so he's going to block the play side number. Our guard is uncovered. He'll block the play side gap, first down lineman, second level. That creates a double team for us. Center is covered. He's going to block that play side number. Our guard is uncovered. He's going to block play side gap, first down lineman, work his way to the second level. And a tackle make a tango call. Again, that means that we're going to read the guy directly over him. He is going to take an inside release first if he can. He's going to go inside to that play side gap, first down lineman, second level. If this defender beats him across his face, he will redirect and go to the outside and take away that C-gap linebacker who's scraping. Again, very simple terminology, very simple blocking scheme. Now where it gets a little bit different is who we're reading in our secondary read. So in this case, we're reading backside Charlie as our primary, but we've made our edge defender, or echo, our secondary read. So what that means for our Y is he normally would set the edge, but this time he's not. He's going to go up to the safety. And then that would mean our Z, who's normally going to push crack, would be responsible for the corner. Now we have very simple rules for our 2-back scheme. The first back, or the H in this case, is going to be our zone read player. Our second back, meaning our F, is going to become the pitch man. So he'll keep that pitch relationship 5 yards outside, 1 yard off the ball with the quarterback. So the way that looks, our H is going to go step to the right and bend back to the left. He's going to try to hit that A gap or bounce it outside if he needs to. Again, our quarterback's read is very simple. He's reading the Charlie defender. If that guy is going to cross down hard and take away the A gap, then the quarterback will keep the ball. In all other scenarios, he's going to give the ball to the H. We call it give to live. So the only time he would keep the ball is if this defensive end is screaming down hard on the line. He's going to tackle the H. Then our quarterback will keep the ball, and he will then be looking at the echo defender. That becomes his secondary pitch. You can see our F becomes the pitch man, who's keeping that 5 yard wide, 1 yard deep behind the quarterback, and they're going to maintain that relationship all the way down the field. So that is our zone left read backside Charlie in a 2-back set. Again, the rule is simple. The second back in the backfield becomes the pitch man. Now let's change that just slightly to go to the right. Nothing really changes. We still have a tango call. We still have an echo defender. Everything is the same. So we're going to get a tango call from our tackle. He's going to take that inside release or outside release, depending on what that defender does. Our guard is going to block play side gap, first down lineman, second level, as he is not covered. Our center is covered, and they're going to block the play side number, work their way up to that double team. Guard is not covered. He's going to block play side gap, first down lineman, second level. And then our tackle is covered. He's going to block the play side number. So the two of them will create a double team. Our Y will set the edge. Our Z will push crack as their normal rules apply. Our F is our pitch man. Our H is going to be our normal back. Our X will do a push crack on the edge out here. And we have our normal situation, just like we always have. Again, we're reading this Charlie defender. If the Charlie defender is going to scream down and take away the A gap, our quarterback would then pull it and pitch it to the F as needed. But again, most of the time he will be giving the ball to the H and give to live unless that read screams down the line of scrimmage. It works the same way for your secondary option. You are going to try to score unless this guy prevents you from scoring. In other words, he's going to come hard down on you. Then you would pitch the ball out to your F. So simple variation, both right and left. Very, very simple. Now I'm going to take that same play and I'm going to do a backside Charlie with the F zone read. So now I'm saying the F is going to be my primary back. Our H becomes the pitch man, and we've created a whole new play. Everybody else does exactly the same things. Nothing changes. Our X is out there on the edge. Our tackle is covered, play side number. Guard is uncovered, play side gap, first down lineman, second level. Our center is covered. He's going to block the play side number. Guard is uncovered, play side gap, first down lineman, second level. Our tackle makes that tango call. He'll release inside unless he gets beat, in which case he would redirect outside. Our Y would block the safety in this case because our secondary read is that echo defender, and our Z would block the corner. Now, this time, the F is going to come straight across the face of the quarterback, so he'll take a rocker step in his stance. He will come straight across and become our primary dive player. Our secondary read then is our H, who is going to be the pitch man, keeping that 5-by-1 relationship. So it's the exact same play, the exact same formation. All we've done is we've tagged the F to the front, which tells everybody, hey, the F's the primary back in this case. Our H becomes our pitch man. Very, very simple. Same thing to the other side. Everything stays the same, so I won't go through all of this to bore you to death, but everything is exactly the same. This time our F becomes our primary back. He goes across the face of the quarterback, and then our H becomes our pitch man. So very simple way of running it out of a 2-by-2 scheme. Everything stays the same. What we can then do is change our read. Do we want to change our primary read to Bravo? We can do that same thing. We can make the B-gap defender our primary read. Again, I don't really truly have a B-gap defender. He's kind of head up. So we could make a call from our guard to let everybody know that we're going to be reading the defender directly over him. So let's take a look at that. It's a golf call, in case you're wondering. So same rules apply. Everything is the same here. Nothing changes. The only difference is now that tackle has a head-up man. He'll block the play side number. Our H is going to be going into the A gap just like he normally does. Our F keeps that pitch relationship. This time the quarterback will read that B gap defender. If he crosses the face again, if he's going to go all the way over to tackle our H in the A gap, then the quarterback would keep it and replace the read. Very simple strategy. We've just now changed the read to Bravo. Same thing on the other side, so we'll skip that one. The last thing we can do is our alpha. So we're going to read the A gap defender. Again, we've got a head up call, so we'll make a me call with our center. We're going to be looking at the same scenario, but this time the center is uncovered. So he'll go play side first. If he gets beat, he would redirect to the backside. Other than that, is exactly the same play, but we're reading the A gap defender. Our H is still our primary back. Our F becomes our pitch man. Now we're reading that 0 or 1 technique, depending on the formation. And it works exactly the same way. So that's our 2x2. Again, we can make the F call, which means the F is the primary back, or the H is our normal back in this case. The other thing that we can do out of 2-back is we can run some of these change-ups, if you will. So we could bubble screen the Oscar. We could bubble screen the Echo. We could bubble screen the Sierra. What does that mean? That means the outside defender is our Oscar. The secondary defender is our Sierra or safety. And then our Echo is our edge defender. We showed you the Echo. By default, that's our pitch man. What we can do is run a bubble screen with that instead. So exactly the same story we had before. We're running zone left. We're still going to do everything we did before. Same rules apply. You got your tango call. Now what we have is we're going to run a bubble screen on the Echo, which means the F is going to run a bubble screen path. It is no longer a pitch relationship. It's now a true bubble screen. So he's going to swing out and try to catch the ball, depending on what this guy does. If he comes back in to take the quarterback, or quarterback could throw it out. But normally he will stay wide because he's got the flats. And therefore my quarterback should have a lane to run when he keeps the ball. So just a simple way of changing things up by running the bubble. We can do the same thing with our F zone read. So it just gives you some examples of how that works. And let's go back now. I want to go into the 3-back zone read. It's just a slight variation, just a slight thing that changes to the nuance. Everything else is the same, but now I can tag the F or the Z, depending on the play. And I am also able to have a simple note. So I want you to take a look at this. The teaching note at the bottom. The back to the play side call blocks the edge defender. The other back becomes the pitch man. So just like we had with our 2-back, the second back was the pitch man. Same thing still applies. The third back, who is now to the play side, is going to block the edge. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So we're going to run out of our bone formation here. We've got our Z, we've got our F, we've got our H all in the backfield. What that means now is because I'm running to the left, again it's zone left, my Z is going to be responsible for the edge defender. Everything else stays exactly the same. My F becomes the pitch man. All other things are 100% the same. So what does that look like? You see the blocking up front, nothing has changed. Tango call is still there. What we have now is my Z is going to be blocking the edge defender because he is to the play side call, left. My F becomes the pitch man. My H does his normal situation. And what we've done now is we just brought another blocker on the edge to run the zone read. So if my H does happen to bounce it outside, he's got an extra body out there to help. Very simple. That's our 3-back rule. Again, if you're to the play side, you're blocking the edge. All right. It works the same way to the right. This time the F would be blocking the edge, and our Z would become my pitch man. So same play, same rules, everything applies. Nothing has changed. I've just added a third back, which means he is going to be blocking that edge defender. Very simple to teach and gives you another thing that you can do. Let's take a look at just one of these quick. The F zone read, backside Charlie, for example. All right, now I've got an even front, so it changes just a little bit. We're still going to push crack on the outside. My tackle is still going to run the same rules. If he's covered, he's going to block the play side number. Guard is covered, he's going to block the play side number. Our center is covered, he's going to block the play side number, and then we'll work to double team that linebacker. My guard to the right is covered, he's going to block the play side number. My tackle is covered, but he's got a true C-gap defender, so he's going to leave him alone, and he's going to be covering down to block the play side number of that inside defender. Again, those two will double team up. My Y still has this push crack on the outside. Again, I'm running left. That means my Z is responsible for the edge, so he becomes a lead blocker out to the outside. My F, in this case, I called F zone, so my F becomes my primary. my H becomes my pitch man. And I've given you a whole different look and another dimension out of this offense, which is just simple rules reapplied. Now, in this case, I've called a Z zone to the right. So my Z is my primary back. Everybody else does exactly the same thing that they had done prior. There is no difference. There's no change. The Z is now my primary runner. My F is going to be blocking to the right, so he's got the edge. And our quarterback is still reading on the outside, edge defender. So nothing has changed. Last but not least, I want to get into our 3-back zone read. And what this does is exactly the same thing we talked about, but now we're going to go into the silencer. So what is the silencer? All the rules still apply. Everything is the same. It's a 2-back formation. The only difference is now we have our H-back directly stacked behind our F, which means we've really overloaded one side, which makes it difficult for the defense to balance us because we're unbalanced. We want to create an unbalanced situation for the defense. So what the silencer is truly an I formation, but it's next to the pistol quarterback. So we still have the ability to run backside zone and things like that. So let's talk about the rules. Again, everything is the same. My H, because I haven't made any tags, my H is going to be running our zone left. My F, because he's in the backfield, becomes our pitch man. Nothing else changed. Everything else is 100% the same. Our blocking rules still apply. We still have a tango call. Now what we have is my H running into the A gap, my F becoming the pitch man, and because we've now unbalanced pre-snap, we're going to get a look that we're looking for. We can audible out of this, for example. Let's say that our defense is going to stay balanced the way it's drawn up on the screen. We could audible to a toss, for example, and have the F out on the edge and our H on a quick toss, and now we've got you numbered on the outside. So that's the idea behind the silencer. We're creating an unbalance, but still wanting to be able to run backside primarily. So it really is a way to get the defense to tip their hand, if you know what I mean by that. That is it. That's really our silencer. Nothing changes. I can show you the same thing to the right. So now we've called zone right. We've got our silencer to the left side this time. We're going to have our H come across. Everything else stays exactly the same. No blocking rules have changed. We've got our H coming across, and our F becomes our pitch man. So nothing has changed in this. Can we still run all the same rules and reads we had prior out of the silencer? Absolutely. We can still run bubbles. We can still do read Sierra, read Oscar. We can read Alpha. Nothing changes for us. It's the same every day, all day. Same rules apply. Just a couple of quick tweaks can give us a whole different look. And that all goes back to what are your simple rules. In the 2-back, the F or the Z, depending, is going to be the pitch man. In the 3-back, the play side running back is going to be responsible for setting the edge. Once you've taught that to the kids, it doesn't matter what formation you want to run, you're good to go. They all know the rules. They can apply those rules at any time. Again, I appreciate you joining. This is a walkthrough of the entire offense of the pistol spread option. I've been at it for almost 20 years, and I really want to give back to the coaches of the community. So please please share, please tell your friends about it. Subscribe to the PSO offense. Go to the website, buy some of the merch we've got out for sale. Whatever you want to do, be a part of the Pistol Spread Option Nation. But we do appreciate you, and I thank you for your time.